a warm welcome to all the participants for today. And today we have Dr. Azim Bowler, who's in the second series of the webinars that we have. And Dr. Azim Bowler is a neurolinguistic psychotherapist, and he's an expert in gestalt therapy and hypnosis, and has been helping several organizations to combat most of the employee and management related issues, as well as stress related personal issues, and has the ability to tackle psychological problems, helps in combating decrease in productivity as a result of decrease of as a result of stress. He also helps to handle employees' personal issues in the onset, and also he has been a counselor and a new neuro-linguistic programming practitioner for the past 12 years. He's also an independent counselor and visiting faculty for Banjara Academy. He is also related with the National Association for the Blind in Bangalore. He is a PhD in psychotherapy and an expert in neurolinguistic programming. He has a Master of Science from MS in Counseling and Psychotherapy from Kuvempu University. He's also trained in Master of Arts, Hotel and Tourism Management from the Schiller International University in London, United Kingdom. He's also done his Masters he's done his Business Administration in Hotel Management from the Schiller International University in Strasbourg, France. And basically started off as a hotelier, but due to some unfortunate incidents, he lost his vision and is currently visually impaired. But that did not let him down. And now his main objective is to help people, all those people whom he can help in spite of his condition. So this was a small initiative that we started because today is Teachers' Day, and I know Azim Bhai. I call him Azim Bhai because he's been an elder brother. He's been a teacher. He's been a teacher all throughout our lives, and even Ishraq would relate to the same thing. So wishing Dr. Azim a very happy Teachers' Day. And coming to today's topic, in which we will be discussing on ways on how you can deal with stress. So stress is something which is which is there in each one of our lives. A certain dose of it is essential for our well-being, but if it gets over the top, then what should you do? So that's where we thought we'll have a small 1-hour discussion, and you're free to enter your comments, your chats, your questions in the chat box, and we can ask them anonymously on your behalf if you don't want to speak out in the open. Most of you would be muted right now, but if you have a question that you would like to put up yourself or you want to speak, you can just request to be unmuted and we'll unmute you, or you can put in your question in the chat box. You can either address your question to Ishraq or me privately, and we'll take the question from there. So this is like a one-to-one conversation, and it's a small group. So I hope it's beneficial for you. Thank you very much for your participation and time. And Dr. Azim, over to you now.
Thank you, Dr. Ashi. Well, welcome. Today we are going to handle stress, and when you see handling stress, there is always a situation where stress is concerned. And more often than ever, the situation tends to get the better of us. Not intentionally, but somehow you are unable to manage everything. So when I talk about handling stress, I gave it a long thought and said, well, I'm going to give it a talk. And then I said, but what's the point? You all know the theoretical part of it. And what can also happen is if situations are there where you're in a stressful situation, you can put it into the box anytime. And we can start off with that itself, so that we start off by handling situations. I'll talk briefly on how to handle situations in general, stressful situations. And then we can go into the actual scenario where we are talking about the real life incidents, which is much better.
The mobile has dropped, so you need to replace that.
So we'd like to thank Josh. Josh is here to help Azim Bhai with any technical issues. So he's a technical expert for Dr. Azim today. Thanks, Josh, for your help, and God bless you. So meanwhile, while Josh is
Okay.
trying to, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, we
Is
can
it
see
okay?
you. Please carry on.
Sorry about the phone. Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. So, yeah. Now we do not realize how and when we enter a stressful situation. It happens so smoothly, we're not even aware, and all of a sudden you're faced with issues that you can't handle. And as the issues mount, you hell lets loose. You tend to sweat it out. You tend to panic. You tend to scream at people. You tend to start worrying, and you think of what could happen, and the situation starts to get out of hand. And then you start to blow your steam out on others. Now it's your stress, but you have to take it on others. You never know how to take it on. It need not be others, right? So, but then stress is a negative. We all think stress is bad, and I say it's not really bad because there's good stress and there's bad stress. And a stress that ends up helping you to do something or to gain something is called eustress or good stress. And there's the distress part of it or the bad stress part of it, where the stress actually makes you go down. So there's good stress and there's bad stress. Good stress is achieving something like a course, you achieve good grades, you're stressed up and the stress makes you achieve. You become an achiever. Whereas when you come down to distress, you tend to let go because you cannot manage or you feel you cannot manage. You should never say you cannot manage because frankly, I believe that there's nothing that a person can't do. If there is a will, where there is a will, there is a way. Now, so we talked about eustress and distress, and then comes down to the actual handling of stress. In a stressful situation, we are aware of what to do when questions are posed to you, when you're supposed to give answers that you're not sure of, or maybe you know the answers, but you can't give it, you can't deliver it. You're just too stressed out. So what do we do? You say, oh my God, I'm stressed. Oh my God, I can't do it. Now these affirmations are surely going to take it down. Oh my God, now what do I do? What do I say? You know what to say. It's all there in your subconscious mind. You just have to go for it. You say you have to go for it, relax. First thing is relax. Listen and read the question. Listen to what is happening. Get a hold of yourself because losing control is losing everything. There are stress busters, which I will inform you. And if you are away from people, it's a different thing. But if you are assuming in a room with people in a meeting room, and you are allowed to go to the restroom, of course, you are allowed to take a break. Take a few minutes to break off. Disassociate. Take a deep breath. Relax. Maybe pace a little walk, get some fresh air, and go back. That little bit of fresh air can do wonders. Similarly, taking a walk. Let's assume you've had a tough meeting or a tough time with the office, and you reach home. Maybe you should get some fresh air. You don't need to blow it out on people. A lot of homemakers suffer because they men tend to come home or vice versa. So there's simple ways of handling stress. Even a squeezy ball can help you handle stress. But then it isn't necessary to really blow it out. Now, talking to someone, it really makes a difference because there are good listeners. And if a listener is good, believe me, most of us, half your stress is gone. So when you talk everything out. Feel free. Believe me, that helps a lot. So don't get out of control, talk it out. If you can, you meditate. When you're in a stressful situation, a little bit of meditation could help you, a little bit of yoga will help you. Oh yeah, it will surely help. Yoga is powerful, very powerful. So that's a little bit of stress. And before I proceed, because there is more than what I have to say, it's what you want to get out of me, right? If you have situations you think are stressful, we could talk it out, and it would be nice because we could all learn from it. Others will be muted. You and I can talk, and they will only hear what's happening, but they won't be able to see. So, would you like to, Arshi, would you open the floor to discussions? Ishrak?
Yeah, we've got a question on WhatsApp, and the participant wants to know that he's facing a lot of stress at the office, like in meetings, things are not going his way, and he comes across situations in which he tends to lose his temper and flares up, and one thing leads to another. So he wants
Right.
to know what exactly can he do to overcome this situation.
Sir, madam, thank you very much. Now, remember that the office set aside, one must be physically also active. Because when you are physically active, your blood supply to your brain is good and you're able to handle it. In the office, work stress is normal. It's very normal, but we tend to get out of control. Space it out. Space your meetings. We leave a gap between each meeting so that you do not carry the baggage in the other meeting, right? Anger is positive if it is used the right way. Do not get angry because it will not yield results. On the contrary, hear them out. Believe me, if you hear people out rather than getting angry first, you will know how to reply. Dr. Ashi, could you give one by one the questions, because I will not be able to remember all. So if you could tell one by one, I will be able to answer one by one. Dr. Ashi?
Yeah, so basically the 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 problem that he's facing is that
Yeah.
he's unable to he's basically having an anger issue,
Okay.
which is
So
causing him more stress.
yeah, that's one. We'll stop at that. Anger is issue causing stress. Now, anger is positive. Believe me, if you can vent out your anger in a particular way, you must talk to someone. And you have to be physically tired, get a good night's sleep. Remember, anger is only within you. And if you hurt someone in terms of verbal hurting, they will not be able to understand the actual basis, which is stress. So anger is not wanted. On the contrary, keep a cool mind. Separate the facts. Tackle one by one each issue. So you fragment it. You look at each issue, you answer each issue, time to answer. They have their time to hear the issues and the solutions out. Is that clear? And also, yeah, walking is important. When you take walks, you never know how much exercise your body gets. So walking incorporated in part of your routine, and a little bit of meditation that will curb your anger. Meditation does curb your anger and is also good for the mind. Ashik, go ahead.
Right. I'd, before we move on to the next part of the question, I'd like to welcome and thank Dr. Professor Suresh Sharma, who's joined in. He's the principal of the nursing college at AIIMS Rishikesh, and he's an authority in nursing education and is a pioneer in his field. So thank you, sir, for joining in. Thanks to Binu Taneja, who's logged in from Hyderabad, and Mansi Rawat from Pune, and thank you very much, Mrs. Nina Ahuja. Ahuja auntie is also logged in today. She's an old, very old friend of the bowlers as well. So thank you so much to be here. So moving on to the next question, it's uh, it's a well-known fact that stress can lead to issues at home also. So we have a caller, a person who's just messaged in, saying that he's having a lot of stress-related issues at home because of the stress at work. So it just keeps piling up.
Right.
So what should one do in such a situation when you're facing a lot of stressful situations at home, at work, and you're bringing the stress home?
Yeah, thank you. So a good question, and it's a very, very, very useful question. Remember, work is work and home is home. Now, the moment you finish work, you should disassociate from your work. Remember, dissociate. There are exercises I do. We can probably work on it later, where you can dissociate from one place and go to the other. So you leave work where it is, pick it up when you go home, right? Pick it up when you go home, when you come back to pick it up when you come back to work. So until then, when you're at home, you're not at work at all. You switch off yourself and you be with the family. If by chance you're blocked by thoughts, write it down, write it on a paper, and address it the next day in the office. If you start calling people from the home, then there is no difference from an home to an office, right? So number one, dissociate. Number two, write it down on a piece of paper. And if you have children, it's good to play with children. They are extremely good stress busters. They have their own issues, and you love it because you're away from the office. And you need to sleep well, because a lot of the time, if your sleep is disturbed, your anger mounts. You tend to take it out on the homemaker, which is not necessary, and even on the kids. So take a good 8 hours sleep well, uh, and look at your stress levels. Go for walks, your stress levels come down. Eat well,
Right.
eat healthy, but try to abstain from junk food. Fruit juices instead of caffeinated products. Look at good veggies, good salads. Meat is good, non-veg is good, but in moderate quantities. Um, yeah, does that answer the question, sir?
Right. So yeah. So right. So the question what the homemaker or the lady of the house would like to ask is that if the husband comes home and is completely stressed and is he brings his work home, he brings all the emotional issues of at work home. So how does the wife deal with it? Does she speak to him openly about it then and there, or does she take her time, or does she break it up and tell him like this is not acceptable that you bring your tensions home, or you just leave it outside the door and before you enter? How do you break this to the person in front? Like the person
Yeah,
who's under emotional stress will not know that he's stressed out because he'll be
right,
behaving differently. He will have a
right,
different behavior. The emotions would be rising high and everything,
right.
or he'll be in a total subdued mode. So what do you advise? How should this information or this news be broken to him?
One is when he comes home, give him time to unwind. He needs to unwind. At the same time, inform him that, listen, you have work to do, but let us keep some time aside, a special time in your room where you're away from everybody, where you're your own privacy, and you do it there and then and not bring it back to us, because it affects you. In fact, if it's between a husband and a wife, the wife could tell him to the husband that it is affecting the husband. So it's affecting you. So why don't we just take it easy? Give a special time from the home if you want to work from home,
Right.
and then be with us. Yeah.
Right. So to add on to that question, we have another participant who prefers to remain anonymous. So she is saying, "Good evening, sir. I am facing a problem with my husband from the last 10 years. I am stuck in this situation, not finding any solution. Stuck with fact that I might hurt close ones, uh, which makes the situation even worse. I don't find anything good, not able to sleep. Please tell me the solution."
Uh, Solution is one thing, but working towards a better life is another, right? So I
Right.
will help you to work towards another life. Solution is within you, madam. You have the solution. I am no one to give you solutions. If you work towards a better tomorrow, it will happen. Now, as far as you getting the whole thing getting onto your nerves and you're in a stressful situation, there are counselors, there are people who are listeners. You must talk it out. Because you see, if I'm not mistaken, there is a lot of baggage you're carrying, lot of baggage. You must be really tired of things. So take some time out, talk to a counselor who is nothing but a good friend. There are many organizations such as Banjara, and even one-to-one I think does it, but I'm not very sure about the success rate. But Banjara is a good place where it's anonymous, privacy is held, secrecy is held, and you do not need guidance. You need just someone to listen to you. I'm sure you'll feel better. And if there are queries, you can always um, email me. My email address will be flashing, and I will reply to you. That will be better than if you have particular issue. Does that
Right. So
answer
what you're
the
trying
question?
to say is, yeah, sorry. So what you're
Yeah.
trying to say is that if someone is faced with a stressful condition like this, and there's a situation, it's always better to speak to someone who can
Yes.
help out on a one-to-one basis.
True.
And
True.
and that's where a professional counselor or someone who can actually listen without being too judgmental about the issue can help
Absolutely.
and sort the issue out. Is that what you're trying to
Absolutely.
say?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because if you talk to your friends, they will give you advices. If you talk to other people, they will give you advices. But no one will actually listen to the problem. Well, as a professional counselor, will listen to the problem with a very non-judgmental air and will help you to understand where the problem lies. There could be no problem, it's that you're not able to sort things out. So it's an accumulation of issues, right? And maybe baggage, yes, emotional baggage from childhood could be that is hurting you. So that is not allowing you to see what is in front of you. So then also there are people who will help you. I myself do it, who will help you to get out of baggage. You can give me a call also. That's not a
Right.
problem.
So basically, neurolinguistic programming and practitioners and experts like you can actually help these people on a phone call, or would you like them to meet you in person?
No, no. Nowadays, with the lockdown, I operate totally on the phone, and it's private. It's beautiful. It works so well. And there's
Right.
ultimate. And in fact, during the course of this session, I will be conducting 1 or 2 sessions of hypnosis with regard to stress busting, which will help you to understand that yes, things can also be done remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The same person would like to know whether she can contact you whenever you have time for her issues later on. So if
Yeah.
I think we'll post the details of your email ID and details, so that contact details, so that she
Yeah.
can get in touch.
True. Yeah. You can contact me anytime. Anytime.
Right. Thank
Except
you.
on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Any other day is fine.
Right. Ishraq, do we have any questions at your end?
Uh, yeah. So there is a question from one of the persons online where they said that you mentioned about good stress which helps you achieve goals or anything, but
Yeah.
especially like now, for example, when students are writing exams, the
Right.
good stress turns into bad stress, and how do you differentiate, or where do you draw the line between that?
Well, madam, good stress is when you achieve some things, and bad stress when you go down. So the thing like it turns from good to bad, right? You keep it good. You keep the child. You help him gain an objective to reach, a target to reach to. He needs motivation, right? And motivation helps the good stress to work even harder, right? And a lot of the times, the children want attention. So give the child attention. Believe me, that is so nice and so important that a child receives the necessary attention and vaults forward with the exams. Because sometimes the children just want to listen, like we need as a listener, right? We too need listeners, so do children. So listen to the child for some time. They help, it will help them to focus once again on, and the good stress will once again be initialized, and then they'll achieve their objective. We need not allow the good stress to turn into bad stress or to distress situations. If you see there is a problem, we address it there and then, and it's over.
Yeah,
There is
so exactly
nothing.
the question is basically where is the line, you know? I mean, there is good stress which helps you
Yeah.
achieve your particular goal, and then the negative stress would be, you know, there's a lot of competition, and you know there's a lot of pressure to achieve something, which
Your,
turns into
your,
bad stress. So how do you
your,
draw the line? And
your perception, sir. Madam, your perception. Your perception is very important. And a lot of the times, if you start thinking of the bad stress, it will become bad. So try not to think about it, because you affirm bad things. Try to think good things. It will turn to better, right? See, bad stress, negative things happen when we affirm it. So we should not affirm. We should not even think that things will go wrong. Yes, if they do go wrong, we can attend to it. But why do we want to think of what is going with it? It's going to go bad, it's going to fall up, it's going to be a mess, it will be a failure. No. Even a failure is a stepping stone to success. We should not look at things in a negative way. Let us look at it positively. Yeah, Ishraq?
yeah, so there's another question, which basically the caller is saying, one second, just let me read it out. So due to the COVID situation, I have been faced, you know, from my company by reduced pay cuts and all that, and this has affected my financial situation, and I'm always in stress on how do I pay the bills and all these things. So what can I do to, you know, put me in a calm state?
If you have time, now if you're working from home because of the COVID situation, you have time. You know you have no, you know your resources. You know what you can do. Now the company has made pay cuts. You're paid maybe 70% of the salary, maybe in 50%. We don't know. But you can, instead of getting stressed up, which becomes a distressful situation, look at it positively and look at the take home that is good from that and say, yes, these are my resources. I can make money doing other things on the side, which will even give me more contentment and happiness, small things, and help you pay the bills. Finances are just an excuse to sit down. No, if there is a problem, if there is a crunch, we have more than one potential. We have so many things within our capacity we can do that can make money. It's just that we have to introspect, come into an idea where you can look at the stress from an outside point of view. Try to disassociate from stress. It will help you to look at things better. Okay, Isha?
Yeah. I think we could just go over one of your hypnosis exercise or some, you know, stress buster exercise at this point.
Let us take a little vote from the audience if they are interested. Let's have the
Okay.
audience, and then I'll take you through one, and then one at the end.
Okay. Dr. Ashi, would
Let's
you
have an
like?
Yeah.
audience
So
vote.
since basically we're trying to. Yeah, so basically, since we're trying to learn of ways of how to deal with stress. So we'd like to know whether you'll be interested in an online session right now. I mean, an exercise which Dr. Azim would be doing, and if you're willing, we can do that, or we can continue with the questions. So if you're ready, if you want it, please type yes in the chat box so that we know. We have about 35 participants. Yeah, 35 participants right now. So all those who want to type in can type in chat yes, so that we know that. Right. So while we're getting our right, Dr. Azim,
The
I think
responses are
we
coming
can.
in.
Yeah, they're coming in. Everybody's saying yes. So I think we can go on um, to the
The
exercise, please.
yeah. So if you, I would take you all to sit down, sit down in a chair, not lie down, sit on the chair. If you are using headphones, which is preferred, unplug the left earphone, so left ear, so it's only the right ear. If not, then keep the mobile on your right side. So the source of the voice is coming from the right. Now, what we will be doing now is an exercise to reduce the stress within you, right? And I will give you the instructions. I'll ask you to close your eyes. I'll help you to relax. And then I'll go through a series of talks and then you open your, when you open your eyes, when I tell you to, all right? Are we ready? Yeah. So please close your eyes. Keep the phone on your right hand side, unplug your left ear. Don't cross your legs or hands, please. Please don't cross it. It won't work. Yeah, thank you. Take some time to relax, unwind. A lot of the time, the stress is in the legs and the back, the lower back. So seat yourself comfortably. Thank you. I'll count from 10 to 1. It will help you to relax further. Start off with 10, 9, 8, 7. You find yourself loosening up. You find yourself a lot more easy sitting down. 6, 5. Clear your mind of all thoughts. Have no thoughts. Only what I'm telling you, nothing in your mind. Make sure the ladies don't have anything on the stove. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now that you're relaxed, I would like you to imagine you're sitting in a room facing a whiteboard. Maybe 10 feet away. Yeah, 10 feet away. 10 to 15 is also good. The whiteboard has got the word stress, STRESS, written in black in front of you. The word stress may look different to different people in different colors. Do not worry. And you look at the stress, you feel a sense of aggression within. You feel a sense of tightness within. You find that you are slightly clenched. And then from nowhere, a duster appears and starts you may notice a little ease, maybe in your breathing, maybe you're breathing more comfortably. Maybe, yes, you are now able to sit better. We go to the duster, goes to the alphabet T. And then when the T starts to go away, another 20% of the stress starts to go away bit by bit. From 20, it became 30. So 40% stress has gone away. You feel good, you feel light, very light, but not light enough. There's RESS, 4 things to go. Each with the 10% weightage. The duster wipes the R off. And as it wipes the R off, you feel further happy, further relaxed. Then the E comes to the duster. The duster works on the E. Remaining are the S's. We remove one S with the duster, leaving one S on the board. No, some amount of stress is good for us. As the majority of the stress leave, maybe 90% of the stress is gone. You will find your back is much better, relaxed. Your sitting posture has loosened up. Your mind is clear. Your face has lost the tension. I want you to relax, enjoy the moments. It's a beautiful moment to enjoy. It's a joy, it's a moment of nothingness. A relaxed feeling, very relaxed. There are no thoughts in your mind. Substitute calmness, like a calm sea, very nice, very calm. Feeling of total relaxed feeling. I will now start gently counting from 1 to 10. You can open your eyes after the count of 10 whenever you're ready. And when you're ready and when you're awake, do type in the box, I'm awake. 1, 2, 3, getting back to your senses. 4, 5, if I feel physically relaxed, good, ready to take anything as a challenge. 6, 7, 8, and 9. You feel wide awake, and with 10, you can open your eyes whenever you feel you're ready. When everyone is ready, when as they wake up, they can type in the chat box awake. Give me 5. 5. Are you awake? Oh, you didn't do the exercise? Exercise? Yeah.
So we're getting the responses.
Okay.
They're slowly coming up.
Yeah, while we have our responses coming in, we have another question. Somebody's asking, do you advise the participants should keep a journal diary? As in, is it advisable to write down things that have been stressing you out, or?
It's very important, madam. It's very important because a journal and a diary that is kept with us helps us to identify when do we become tense and what do we do when we are tense, when do we are stressed. So keeping a journal and a diary helps you to know what's happening and to attend to it, which means you may be able to even avoid the stress because you know in this particular situation that has happened. So why allow it to happen? And maybe you can change it. So stress diaries are very important. So very important. It's good. It's a good habit. It's healthy. sorry. You were watching WWE, but the noise was.
Oh, no, that was just from a video. The cover put on the WhatsApp status.
No, because it have disturbed me. No, that's why. I'm sorry about that.
So, Dr. Azim, there's another question related to gratitude.
Yeah.
How, they've read that, okay, gratitude journals and all are really helpful and all that, and they wanted your take on this.
Yes, gratitude, being thankful. Thankful to yourself, thankful to others. Being very grateful is very good because it's a good feeling, it's a down to earth feeling. You should be grateful. Believe me, not be selfish, but be grateful because gratitude helps you to look at the picture better. And along with gratitude, we must understand that forgiveness is important. Along with gratitude, please remember that no anger is worth keeping, no hatred is worth tendering. Put it aside, get back to your relationships. Words that are said and gone. People will never remain the same. People, as they grow up, they will forget. You should also forget. Yeah.
All right. There's another question where they're basically saying that I get panic attacks twice a week, and it's been going on for about 2 months. I visited a doctor, and they've given antidepressants.
Yeah.
But then those antidepressants are not really, helping her in the sense of it's affecting her with the side effects.
Right.
So basically asking, is there any other way or some kind of counseling or hypnosis or therapy which can help?
There is. I'm not saying no. Panic attacks come under the realm of anxiety, like OCDs and various mental disorders, and panic attack is a part of anxiety. So, anti-anxiety drugs do help, but so does hypnosis. So does hypnosis. So you can either continue to take the drugs. Do not leave the medication because they will deteriorate. Your condition may deteriorate. Contact a hypnotherapist, myself includes, or else anyone will do it. Will help you to reduce anxiety levels. And it is a mental disorder, anxiety, and nothing big. It goes away. We are on the edge where we think a lot, we overthink, and we hyperventilate, we take it out on others. Not needed. Even OCD is one of those disorders that come out of anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder. So, where because of the stress or anxiety, you start doing several things, the movement, several times, like washing your hands or bathing yourself, or you form a habit. You see, you become superstitious. No, so go to contact a psychiatrist if it's OCD, anxiety, and a psychiatrist is good. It's good. Even a GP will, a general physician will give you anti-anxiety drugs. Hypnosis expert will also help you to come down. The choice is yours. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Dr. Zim, we have a question from a participant who wishes to be anonymous. So I'll just call the person L. And the question is, if we share, like if I share my feeling with someone, I feel unsafe and that stresses me more. What is the solution?
Okay, if you feel stressed and insecure sharing, then it would be nice to write it down on a piece of paper and tear it. Write it on a piece of paper, read it a couple of times, and then tear it little by little, and the matter is closed. So you have said it, it's heard, it's gone. Right? Yeah, Dr. Ashi?
Right. We have, it's 4:50 almost. We have another 10 minutes to go. So we'll have a few more questions before we wrap it up. So if anybody has any questions, you can send it to me or Ishraq in the chat box privately, and we can raise it to Azim Bhai, Dr. Azim. And if anyone would like to speak out a question or would have a genuine question to ask on and would like to share it on the forum, that is also advised. Can be
So
the
there
request
is a
can be told to
question.
us, so we
There's
can
a
ask the
question which
question
has come
accordingly.
in. There's a question which has come in and which basically is asking Dr. Azim, do you feel stressed due to your condition, and how do you overcome that?
Uh, I do feel stressed, but not due to my condition. No, condition, yes, at times, because I am physically also challenged. So I do have moments when I am stressed. But believe me, having a friend to talk it to, and once you say it, it's gone. And at the end of the day, you don't carry it towards the next day. You close the book, you close the chapter, you finish it off, you relax. And you relax, you forget about it. No stress is worth carrying to the next day. Finish it off, forget it, it's over. And I would not call it my condition. I mean, my condition, I don't feel about it. I just live with it and say nothing great. But in general, I would say that whenever we are stressed, at the end of the day, don't allow it to go on to the next day. Finish it off. Smile it off, push it off, cry it off. It's good. Crying is healthy. If you can cry, a few tears that go away, you will actually ventilate. So you need to vent out. Maybe you're frustrated. You call it stress. It could be frustration. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind, that you can ventilate and let go of all your fears, all the inhibitions, and start the next day afresh. Yeah.
It's like taking off your mind off the current scenario and shifting it onto something else also. Would that help?
Uh, that would help, but then you should make sure that the scenario that you're going to doesn't have any negative connotations to it. If you forget about this and think about pleasantries, it's all gone, right?
Yeah,
But
the reason why I asked that was because a lot of the younger generation or even adults has started to move on to, they say that, oh, I have a lot of stress in my life, so I've started smoking. Oh, I have a lot
no,
of stress
yeah.
in my life, so I've started drinking alcohol. So do you
See,
think is this valid justification for starting something which is, unhealthy and which has
no,
deleterious
no,
effects on your life?
no, that's not a valid justification. Not at all.
So what do you do? What do you do if you are a close family member of someone who's taken up chronic smoking
Yeah.
because he can't handle the stress outside his home? What
Well,
does he do?
yeah. Now, if you go and tell them that, listen, Mr. J, if you start, why don't you stop smoking? He will hate you, right? And if you tell him the harmful side effects, he will further hate you.
Yeah, he will actually have some
Huh?
kind of animosity towards you.
Can you repeat that question, please?
Yeah,
That last line, can you repeat?
yeah. So if you confront the person with that problem, as in
Yeah,
as in
yeah.
why are you
Smoking.
smoking so much? So
Uh,
then they tend to detest you, or
yeah, they will.
they go
They,
against you for actually raising that point. So
correct,
it's a
correct.
sensitive issue. Like for example,
Right.
if the son has started smoking, how does the mother deal with that situation?
One is
And
acceptance.
the son says, "See, mom, I have a lot of stress in my life. You won't understand. Smoking helps me overcome stress. That's why I'm doing it."
Okay.
So
Yeah. Can I go ahead?
yeah, please.
Yeah. So here there are various aspects to it. One is that if it's a son, teenager, these are years or teenage years where he is a rebellious child. He has to overcome that rebellion. He'll pick up smoking. He will drop smoking by 21. It's because a lot of it is peer relationship. His friends do it. Now, if you are going to tell him to stop, he will not stop. But if you use one of his friends to tell him that, listen, take it easy, smoke is unhealthy, a non-smoker, but in a friendly way, it will work much better, because right now at that age, parents are the greatest enemy because they use rules, they impose restrictions, they are not good. Peers are good, friends are good, they understand me, they make me feel great. So use a friend to stop it. Don't tell him on the spot. Acceptance. Yes, my son is smoking. Great, he will leave it. Don't worry. But if you try to stop him, it will make matters worse. Yeah. Is that okay?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Yeah.
So I think we've almost addressed all the questions. We won't be able to take all of them because they're just pouring in now, and we're running short of time. So we just have another 5 minutes to go for our 1 hour session. The reason why we kept it short is because it's always better to keep it short and sweet, and it doesn't need to go for hours together. But we'll be sharing Dr. Azim's email ID with you in the chat box. So in case you have any queries and you need to get in touch with him, or you need to interact with him at any point of time, or you need any help whatsoever that you feel you should discuss only with him, please be free to mail him. We'll be placing his email ID in the chat box for you to join in. And Dr. Azim, would you like to wrap it up with another exercise, or should we take in a few more questions?
No, we can take it. We can do. I leave it to the group actually. If Q for questions and E for exercise, quickly type. If you want question and answers, Q&A, or E for exercise, a quick poll, and it will make matters much easier, because that kind of decision the people should take. Yeah. Can is everyone doing that?
Okay, so meanwhile, while we're getting answers, we're getting responses. So the question from Mr. Bruzili Abraham, who's the clinical psychologist and counselor at AIMS Rishikesh. Thank you very much for being with us. He asks, how do we address the issue of stress due to working from home?
How do we address the issues due to working
Issue
from
of
home?
working from home. Yeah,
Yeah.
stress-related issues due to work, which are arising from working from home.
Now, what happens, sir, is that when you work, you're stressed, and you tend to, and stress is imbibed. You know, as a counselor, you know that stress is imbibed by others. So be careful to vent out stress, vent it out in the right manner. Try to work away from people, work in a room, and do not allow yourself to be disturbed by others. Maintain the work hours at home also. If you start office at 9, start work at 9. If you leave office at 5, stop work at 5. So you're not doing anything different. Also, try to stay within the office work to maintain discipline. Never to order of saying that I'll do it in the night. No, work should not go on beyond that, the office hours. That way you are not really leaving the office. You are still connected with the office work in the office timings. Your door is closed. You're not sharing your stuff with others. You are well connected with the office work. And then once you are out, you let go of your baggage, you leave it in the office, and you come home and be a normal father, a normal husband. Dr. Ashi?
Right. We'll just take one last question before we move on to the exercise. The same participant who had asked a question earlier wants to know how to deal with stress which is related to increase in weight, body weight. So like if someone has become a little bit more fat and the stress related with that.
There are various things here, sir. One is that weight gain, you have to lose it. You have to lose the weight. But getting worked up about it and doing nothing is not going to solve it. So one is change your perception and form timetables, change your routines, formulate a new diet, and convert your stress into a positive stress by doing things, by walking, by exercising, by dieting, and make it positive related, not negative. Look forwards for it, and believe me, you'll lose your weight, and you won't even be stressed about it. Ashi?
Right. So
Yeah.
the mirror should be a happy place to look at, no matter whether we look thin or.
You see,
So,
beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And if you look at the mirror and you're happy. And if you're happy about it, then that's all that matters. Because if you start living for others, that you'll never live. But if you live for yourself, you'll live happier.
Yeah, right. Another thing which stress does is that you tend to eat a lot of stuff which is unhealthy, and that leads to more weight increase. So if you get stressed about the entire condition about you gaining weight, you might just end
Eat,
up gaining even more weight. So
yeah, eat
one
healthy,
thing
eat
is to
healthy.
just, as you say, just shut it off from your mind and eat healthy and think positive, and probably adopt a diet or do an exercise which you like doing, and focus on the good things and the positive things in life. I think the questions are now just pouring in, but right, I think we'll have to move on to the exercise now, Dr. Z.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I cannot take all the questions. You can email or WhatsApp them also if you want, or we email them. You can share both the IDs. So, we the same thing. I want you to be in a sitting position, and I want you to be in a sitting position. Feet and hands uncrossed. Left, if you're using earphones, left one's unplugged. If there is a cell phone, it's on the right with the speaker on. And close your eyes, lean backwards. I'll count from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now that we all are relaxed, I want you, with your eyes closed, don't open your eyes under any circumstances. With your eyes closed, I want you to imagine two bar charts. No, a single bar chart in front of you. And the bar chart has two colors. One color of the stress within you, and the other color of the relaxed nature with you. The stress could be any color, the relaxed nature could be white or yellow, good, positive, yellow. The stress could be red, blue, green, whatever color comes to your mind. Let us assume the stress is at 90%, the relaxed is 10%. As I click, it becomes 80% stress, 20% relax. As I further click, it becomes 70% stress, 30% relax. 60% stress, 40% relax. 50% stress, 50% relax. 40 stress with a 60 relax. 30 stress with a 70 relax. 20 stress with an 80 relax. 90 relax with a 10 stressed. 90% relax, 10% of you is stressed. Some stress is good for you. It's very nice. You feel good. Somewhere you suddenly become calm, very calm. I will count from 1 to 10. Open your eyes after the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. And once you open your eyes and you're ready, type awake in the box and send it over.